suddenly it's like a blind stop. For a few minutes you're like, well, what do I do now? Do I have to make arrangements for if I'm going to live or die? Is this a time frame that I have now? How long do I have? Not everybody gets through it. Who does and who doesn't? It's really frightening. Just this year I felt this lump on the right side of my right breast. And I thought, oh, that's a lump. I thought about it, and a couple of days later I thought, that's still a lump, I really should do something about that. And about 2 more days later, I decided I would go straight to the hospital OB/GYN and ask them to look at it. She felt it and she said, oh, I can tell you this is typical of a cyst. And she said, don't worry, it just moves around, it's the typical type of shape in the typical area, but there's nothing to worry about. Then she said, we're going to have to use the fat needle biopsy to take a sample. The diagnosis was a 4-centimeter infiltrating ductal carcinoma with other ductal carcinomas in situ in the same area. I said, well, honestly, I just feel like I'm going to die. And she said, oh, now don't worry, I'm going to have an appointment for you to see a surgeon as soon as possible. And I went, oh, I am going to die. That's it. I'm done for. I decided to go for the mastectomy.
Keep going, keep going. Okay, that's good.
Then we had to, get over the surgery and talk about what the next steps would be to prevent a reoccurrence. Chemotherapy is a strange science. You go to the hospital and they intravenously give you a big vial of red toxic concoction, and then they'll give you another bag of a less toxic concoction. After that they give you 2 anti-nauseous pills because the main symptoms of chemotherapy are that you feel violently sick. Losing my hair was something I knew was going to happen. Nobody knows what they're going to look like. I just have a little bit. But by the time this next chemo kicks in, I will probably lose the rest of the hair. I'm trying to think like, oh, if I look like Sinead O'Connor, then it would be fine. But actually, I'm just a little bit older than her. I'm better in the morning. I've always been better in the morning, so I get up and try and do as many things as quick as I can. And then by the time I get to the evening, I just don't want to cope with things that need coping with. You just really do get completely wiped out. It seems like the next day you're okay for a while, but the days get shorter. I've started to feel what they call the toxic mouth, which is almost like a metal mouth. It's not really metal tasting, but it's the closest thing you could think of. Everything tastes like that. Everything. Fish, chicken, candy, it all tastes this strange taste. And you start to get a bit like you don't really want to eat. You're told you must eat something, you must eat something. So I was getting really sick of it. I'm like, oh, I can't bear this anymore. It tastes awful. My 3rd weekend, I felt the worst. I had this horrible headache. My hair fell out, and I got this big canker sore. I just looked wretched. I'm hoping that I'll bounce back even better than before, because sometimes they say you do bounce back better.